Oh, okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tyler Truelove's Wildcat Grill for the fifth quarter show featuring your head coach, Rance Gillespie. I'm Chris Connolly, along with Chad Johnson. And what is playoff fever, and what a night it was last Friday night, Coach. A big, huge 56-21 win over Dodge County. What an exciting night from start to finish. I felt like... and this is just a little commentary to start with on my part, but I felt like the team actually came together, all three phases, but they came together and it looked like they were actually doing everything you had taught them to do for all season. They kind of put it together.
There was a little run there where we were kind of clicking in all three phases. You know, I thought throughout the night we played really good in special teams, and special teams made a tremendous difference in that game.
Big time.
It was probably the thing that kind of blew the game open, and it certainly was a big momentum swing after the block kick. But you got two blocked punts, and all the hidden yardage that was in that game. I mean, we're starting at midfield about 90% of the time, and we had several pins on our kickoff team, so that all of those things played a huge factor. We punted the ball well, and we were able to block punts. So we won in all phases of special teams, and that was a huge factor. And then our defense. We had a little hiccup early in the game, but then after that, our defense played really well, created turnovers and put pressure on them, and did a great job of keeping them out of the end zone, and then offensively, we knew it was going to be a tough task to run the football against them. They were big up front and could move and could run, but we were able to do the things that we needed to do in order to score the points that we needed to in order to win the game. And and you look at our stats, and I think you were right at 300 yards.
287. Yep.
And you can kind of throw that out the window because our defense is giving us the ball at the 30,
Absolutely.
and special teams are giving us the ball, and when you lose a possession because of the punt block, which I'm not complaining one bit about that, and so I thought all around we played a good brand of football.
And we still had 87 yards on returns for the kickoffs, which was still good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we started at midfield, almost every time we got a possession.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the offense. It was a big night with 56 points. So Lake Evans had 3 touchdowns. He had a 1-yard run, a 4-yard run, and then a 23-yard run that ended the scoring. Ty Truelove to Lefevre's, what a night. 2 touchdowns for Lefevre's. Ty had a night of 183 yards passing, 8 for 13, but he had a big quarterback rating of like 140 or something. Yeah. So he had a great night as well. And then Reed Giles had 2 touchdowns, short runs, but one of Reed's 1-yard touchdown run, I actually think he should have got credit for 9 yards because they pushed him back. He ran back to the 9-yard line and then ran it in on 4th and 1.
Yeah, that was an incredible play out of him. We had a bust up front, and the guy leaked through, and he basically just beat him one-on-one and was able to score a touchdown and at a big point in the game.
Absolutely. And, of course, then we had the huge punt block by J.K. Frooster in the 35-yard return for the touchdown. Yeah. And that was that, really, I think.
Turning point in the game.
It was a turning point. Absolutely.
We take the ball on the opening drive and go down the field and score, and had a really clean drive and executed really well. And they come back and answer. And so it was kind of back and forth for the first 2 possessions. And it was tight. And they ended up, giving up the punt block, and we were. And then at that point, that's kind of when things kind of started trending in our favor a little bit.
The Feeders had 120 yards receiving on 4 catches, which was a tremendous amount of average there. But
no, he did a good job, and we said, throughout the week that we felt like we could do some things formationally. That and I think I kind of said under my breath last week that we've got to do a good job of displacing them, and there's a lot of ways to do that. And so I don't think anybody was really thinking about displacing people in the past game, but that was what I was referring to, and there were some things that kind of worked out for us, and they left a couple of guys that were open, and then the kids executed, and were able to rip off a couple of really big plays. One to Burrow down the middle on the first drive, and then the one to Lefevers, and then the other one was Ty, in his athleticism, getting outside the pocket, and the guy dropped the coverage to come to Ty, and when he saw it, he able to hit Lefevers again. So,
that
some
and
big plays.
It wasn't a touchdown, but you had the one where Ty rolls out, and he had a guy hot on his trail and threw it, and Reed Giles came out of nowhere.
Yes,
absolutely. Between 2 or 3 defenders to make that catch near it, and that was right before his touchdown run.
So he got flushed to his right, and it was on our sidelines.
Yeah.
And he took a shot down the field. Reed comes back, makes a great catch, and it was a huge play.
Right, and just to go over some of our offensive stats the other night, we had 104 yards rushing, 183 yards receiving for a total of 287 yards. Leading the rushing pack was number 1, Lake Evans. He led with 65 yards on 17 carries and, of course, 3 touchdowns again, followed by Reed Giles with 37 yards on 8 carries, and he had 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Receiving, we had number 16, Reed Lefevers, led with 4 catches for 120 yards and 2 TDs. Followed by, it was the Reed showed.
The first catch that he made on the curl was a really nice throw and catch. I mean, the guy's in good coverage and puts the ball on the money, and he makes a physical catch. So.
Right, and then you had Reed Burrow with 41 yards off 2 catches, and then, of course, Reed Giles with 2 catches for 18 yards. So spreading the ball around, of course, leading with the rushing again, balanced offense, and it paid off. But, again, turning point, to me, it changed the momentum on the block punt and return for a touchdown. It seems like it just flipped the switch.
Totally agree. And Christian had a good night punting the ball. And
oh, my goodness, yes.
Those things play big, especially this time of year. And they play big in every game. But, like I said, I don't think anybody would argue with me after seeing Dodge that they had a really good football team, very talented, and we knew that special teams were going to play a big piece, and special teams will continue to play a big piece in each and every game.
And it did. And I was talking to Chris just before the show that if you look at stats, they beat us on offense, but because of what you're talking about, our special teams, we had great field position the whole year or the whole night, and of course that cuts our totals down, but it puts our points up. Right. We stopped them when we needed to and scored when we needed to.
That's right. And I feel like we played a high caliber of special teams all year long.
Absolutely.
We have.
It's something that we emphasize in, we take great pride in, and I think that our kids have done a good job of making that important. And it needs to be a very important piece to your program, and really proud of the way that we play.
Hey, Coach, push Mike just a little closer.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit. You mentioned the Avila cousins who were outstanding, but we had one of those punts was like a 50-yarder. And then he had another 40-yarder, 2 40-yarders, I believe. But that 50-yarder that he boomed down toward the end zone, I think it was Mac Williams came down there and just cleaned somebody out.
Mac's done a good job all year playing on the special teams for us, and he's on several. But he's a lot of fun to watch on the punt team. But he's also a lot of fun to watch on the kickoff team. Mm-hmm. And he plays one of the inside spots for us. One of our 5 spots, and has done a really good job. The thing that they were going to try to do was to use their speed and return the ball to the field, and I thought our kids did a much better job. We got hurt with it against Elbert. We felt like that's what they would try to do, and our kids did a much better job of reacting to it, and changing the lanes, and it's a challenge when you face a team with the speed that Dodge has, and they take off. Running to the field to be able to take the speed that you need in order to cover the kick and then be able to redirect and change. And I thought we did a really good job with that. Especially one of our and we got some different schemes going on with our kick game. Kick the ball deep. We've squibbed a couple now, we've got a sky kick that we use, but our kids are doing a good job executing all of those.
Well, I see Coulter Cannon sitting out there. He had a return, I think, that was a key return on a punt. They were kicking it away from Reed. He got the punt and had a great return that kind of put us at midfield almost to start the possession. So that's another special team thing that you kind of overlook. But, man, was it really important to take advantage of that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the D because, man, did they show up.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I felt like we had a couple. We ended up with 3 turnovers. We picked up a couple of fumbles.
Hey, I tell you what, Bill's here. Why don't we bring him up? Let Bill
come on up here. Get up here, Mr. D.
He can come over here.
All right, right over here, man. We got your mic set up right here. By the way, I sat next to his wife at the game the other night since we weren't announcing, and
that's good. We're close.
she knows a lot about football, a lot. She could be the D coordinator, I believe.
No doubt.
Let's talk about the defense because I was talking to you before we got started, and I felt like it was one of the most complete games that I've seen the defense play this year, and a lot of big plays. But give us an overall what you felt like.
Yeah. I felt like even I was proud of the group that I coach individually too. Like the linebackers, that was their best game by far as a unit, as an entire unit. I think what our defense has turned into a very opportunistic defense, and so the fact that you can create turnovers and make big plays, I think it was a bogus call that Giles wasn't able to get that touchdown that he scored, with the penalty. But those kind of things just crush football teams and get things going. I mean, getting a stop and then J.K. getting the block after that. Again, I mean that was a momentum swing that we talked about, like that complementary football. It's you get a stop and your special teams gets a big play, or your special team makes a big play, offense goes and sticks it in. It's just everybody working off of each other and feeding off each other, and that happened the whole night. Again, I think the last 2 weeks, our defense, we've gotten behind. Like we've had 2 touchdowns scored on us early. And then, second and third quarters, we've dominated going into the fourth quarter. And so that momentum builder, I want them to start quicker, but you can see how really good they can be. And when they continue to play with confidence and do that, even after some bad things happen. But I told you earlier, we were just talking, and when I was really happy, like Reed Burrell didn't do a good job on the first screen.
Right.
But then the next time they ran that, he destroyed it. And so coming to the sideline just saying, hey, that won't happen again. And then, them attempting to do the same thing and seeing that happen, So those guys are really
y'all shut the screen down after that.
And you're, if you look at their offensive line, I mean, they were huge. But I didn't know that we would just manhandle them like we did. I think, Ethan's here too. But that whole group, we dominated the front, and that's how you win those games. And so when it was making them one-dimensional and being able to do a few things that can cause them to make some critical mistakes.
Right. I like using analogies, and watching that the other night, we traded like watching 2 boxers, 2 heavyweights go at it there. We traded a couple of good licks in the first quarter there, and then finally we said, all right, that's enough, and just turned the switch.
In the second half, we had like 6 3-and-outs.
And we held them on 4th and 1, I think twice.
And so that's just a dominating at that point. That's demoralizing for the other team when that happens. And so those are great things that happen.
Yeah, we were laying the wood too. Boys were hitting.
Yeah.
We picked up. I think what I like the fact that we picked up our 13th interception of the year. Reed Giles picked up his 4th, the team leading 4th.
Yeah, he got a touchdown pizza for that, by the way.
Did he really?
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Good deal.
The great thing about that interception, you see, I was actually on the sideline with y'all the other night, and we watch him pick the ball, and he literally looks to the opposite side of the field and sees how wide open
you just
it is.
knew he was going to score.
He was gone, and then when you go back and watch the film, it was a bogus call. Yeah, you're like, really? That's unreal.
Let's talk about another call though. That one that I have not seen. I don't think I've ever seen this. When we kind of got lucky. Number 5, their stud on defense. He decided to act like a real knucklehead, and he interfered with us in the end zone. And so we were on the 29-yard line. So we got the pass interference call, and then he said something to the referee, and then apparently he wasn't finished and said something again to the referee, so he got 2 unsportsmanlike. Yeah. So we go half the distance 3 times. We get the ball on the 4. We score from the 4. Yeah. So what a knucklehead that was.
Yeah, and that's part of the playoffs. And
he got thrown out of the game.
Yeah, the discipline part of that. You know, and then Coulter sitting there. He got a personal foul drawn on that. He made someone get a personal foul, and so he also got a pizza for that. But
all right.
But that's but those are big deals because those are monster plays. Like when you lose control, when your team loses control and you get personal fouls and stuff, it absolutely changes the game.
The great thing I saw about our kids, one time there we got called on both sides down there in our end zone. But I promise you, I was right there with them. Our guys were doing this.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Good restraint.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and let's recognize some players of the game. Coach, thank you for stepping up here, man. Great job.
Great job, Coach.
All right, give the coach a hand, man. What a job the defense did the other night. All right. All right, a lot of defensive players in here are really singing your praises. That way, butter him up.
All right, so I think all 3 of our guys are here. So our offensive player of the week is Zach Gordon.
All right. Come on, Zach. Bobby. All right. All right, put that mic close to you. There you go. A little
Push
closer.
it way close
enough. Yeah, that's good. All right. So what is it, Bobby or Zach? Come on now.
It's either one, really.
Okay. You just go. What about just as long as they call your name?
I guess.
All right. All right. Our preseason All-State center. What a job he has done this year for us. Tell us a little bit about what your role is with Ty, how long you've played with him, and what your role is out there on the field.
I think Ty came in 7th grade. Been playing with him ever since. Role on the field is really just Ty calls the mics, and then other than that, I just set the line on where we need to go.
Okay, what do you mean by set the line? A lot of people don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, so run blocking, I really just set with the guards. Like I'll say like a single if I'm working with the guard to my right, if it's a play to the right. And then like that just tells the tackle he's not working with him and he's working with me.
What do you say?
A single or an A.
Okay, single or an A, all right.
And then in pass pro, it can be a lot. Like if Ty sets it one mic, it could be like an orange call, which is like a 3-man slide left, or like I'm working with the guard to the right with like a orange call, and then working with the guard to the left is yellow call, and then 3-man slide to the left, lion, and then 3-man slide to the right is ram. We got a lot of calls.
Did y'all hear that? We'll have a little test after this to see if y'all can figure that out. That's the offense that Coach Gillespie has installed. How long did it take you to really get familiar and adjusted to it?
About halfway through summer, I think I was really starting to pick up on the mics.
Okay. All right. So you started working early in the summer then?
In spring, we started with just like the orange and yellow call. It's really simple. It's just me and the guards working together to the mic that Ty pointed out. But we started putting everything in during the summer, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. How was that big boy in front of you the other night? Did y'all talk any trash?
We didn't talk to him very much, but he was pretty big and really hard to move. I didn't block him very much. I think I really only blocked him on counter. But other than that, I know Hunter was struggling to move him, but
He was a big one.
He was pretty big.
Yeah.
He's listed at 360, and
Yeah.
the coach said before the game said he's at least 400. He's 6'5".
That is
He's just a big human.
That is a refrigerator.
Run to the other side.
Yeah, you pushed the refrigerator all over the place. So what was as far as grading out? Y'all probably graded out pretty good on this week, didn't you?
I think we all graded out about a little better than usual or about
Okay.
the same.
Okay. Because I felt like y'all really, really put it together this past week. It was a total effort that we'd been looking for. It felt really good. So, all right, tell us about, since you are kind of the quarterback of the line. Tell us about your teammates there. Give us a little thumbnail on some of those guys.
Well, I got Hunter to my right. He's probably one of the next best. I feel like. No, he's to my left. He wasn't right in the beginning. And we got Skylar to my right, the right guard, and then Ron Baum's at tackle, Caden Watts at left tackle. They're all getting more used to it. Threw them into the fire a little bit at the beginning of the season, but they're getting a little better.
But as a senior, you are the leader of that group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're looking to you for that leadership.
Our center in our offense is really, really important, and so I've always said that I feel like it's important that the quarterback understand the protection. So our quarterback is driving a lot in the protection, a lot in the run game, and so although Ty is driving it with the mic point that Bobby's referring to, basically Ty is telling him who he wants to make sure that we get it picked up, and then Bobby's telling everybody, okay, he said it, now here's how we're going to do it. And so the ram, the line, and the rocket, the load it, and all of the different calls that he's talking about is communication with him and those five guys up front about how we're going to execute what it is that Ty wants. And he's done a great job with it all year long and has really picked it up really fast. And so when we go to a walkthrough on Tuesday morning, you know, I need to make sure that Ty and Bobby are on the same page and totally understand what it is that we're looking at. And as long as those things happen, then we've been pretty good. We had to make a sideline adjustment on Friday for one little thing that they did, and we knew that Dodge has done so much throughout the year. This group that we're fixing to play has done a lot defensively throughout the year, but Dodge threw one little wrinkle at us that we had not seen in 10 games, and we go to the sideline, and we said, this is what we need to do with it, and it was, like Bobby said, we started, you know, at ground zero in the spring, and we've built on it throughout the year, and there's one more call that I have not installed yet. We actually installed it Friday on the sidelines, and I said, here's what you call it. They did it, picked it up, but you know, once the system gets kind of ingrained in these kids, those little adjustments like that are really easy to make, and they did a great job with it.
You talk about the adjustments on the sidelines, and of course, it wasn't in my day playing, but it's probably been there in the last several years. The iPads and the monitor on the side to where you get instant, to where you can bring that offense or defense to the sideline and go over what they did right and what they did wrong.
No doubt.
That's got to be a huge advantage for coaches.
Halftime adjustments.
Right.
If you wait until halftime, it's way
game's
too
over.
late. I mean, you've got to adjust after every series.
Your opinion on that? Having that advantage on the sideline, being able to look at a monitor to see what you're doing right or wrong, that's got to be a huge advantage for a player.
It definitely is up front because we mess up quite a lot, especially in the beginning of the game. So it really helps to really make an adjustment in the beginning and just get everything settled.
All right. So this week coming up, another home playoff game. So we're expecting a big crowd and a big thing. Do you get extra pumped for these playoff home games?
At home, it's a little better, but third year, I don't really get that pump until we get down on the field.
Just throw the ball out there and let's go.
Play the game.
All right, good deal. All right, your All-State center. Hold on, don't move. We want a photo here. So your All-State center, Zach Bobby Gordon.
Our defensive player of the week this week is Brock Brady.
All right.
Go, Brock.
Yes, sir. All right. I like it over here.
Got it.
It's twisted.
Hang on.
Is it not?
It is. No, here we go. What's that?
Bobby Gordon did that on purpose just to make you look bad.
We all good?
All right. Brock Brady. I've always said that. What a great name for a football player. Brock Brady. All right. I'm going to tell you, you have come alive. You have gotten better and better every week this year. And Friday night, I'm so disappointed that we weren't announcing because it was a highlight for you. I think you had the best game you've had all year. And tell us a little bit about how it felt Friday night.
Sure. Overall, I had a very good game, I thought. I came out, I messed up a little, but, switched it over. Switched some things.
Yeah, you made. You had several great plays. You had one where you blew them up on a screen pass, if I remember.
Yes, sir.
On that, tell me a little bit about what you were reading there.
I seen it, and I got my drop, and right when I turned around, I seen all the linemen coming out, so I was like, oh, must be a screen. So I ran up there, and there he was.
All right. Well, it
a
was
little bit more to it than that. He looked like he shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a play.
That's exactly how they coached it, right? If you see the lineman coming out, watch for the screen.
Yeah, and then, of course, I think you had 8 tackles on the night, and I think they were all solo, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you were out there by yourself sometimes, but you did a great job on not only tackling, but once again, you were all over the place.
Sure.
Felt like it was a great game for you, and we called you. We've called your name out a lot this year, but Friday night I would have been calling it all night long because it seems like you were near the ball all the time. Tell us about how you feel like the year has progressed for you.
I've definitely got more confident with my calls and
Okay.
and being the leader of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you are making the play calls for that secondary.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
Linebacker
it's a
secondary.
huge job to set the front, make the strength calls, all of those things, the communication that goes on with it. That's where the down starts.
Right.
Everybody talks about the down starts on the head. For Brock, the down starts as soon as the huddle's broke. For a no huddle team, as soon as we can recognize a formation. So it starts well before the ball's ever snapped for Brock. And as a 10th grader, that's a heavy load. And but he's grown up and done a great job with it throughout the year. And we're not running just like offensively. And I know everybody talks about the complexity of what we do offensively, and it's really not that hard. It's just a system initially, but. We're doing the same thing defensively, and Brock's responsible for getting the calls made, getting the strength calls made, and everybody plays a piece in it. But the strength call is on Brock's shoulders.
And who's relaying that into you? Who's helping you? Who are you getting defensive signals from on this?
Coach Stewart.
Coach Stewart.
Yes, sir.
He's giving you the signals.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you're kind of the general out there.
I guess you would say that.
All right,
Yes, sir.
General Brady. I like that.
General Brock Brady.
Yeah, General Brock Brady. All right, well, man, I tell you what, if you can have another game like you had this week, man, we may have you up in New York for the Heisman. I mean, it was awesome. So continue to do what you're doing, man, because you're getting better and better and better.
Yes, sir.
It's awesome. All right, your sophomore player of the week on defense, Brock Brady.
There you go, Brock.
Our special teams player of the week is J.K. Brewster.
All right. All right. All right, man. All right, we want to hear details. Tell us about that big block punt and the streak to the end zone. Tell us about it.
Oh, well, it's kind of went how we practice it, just play fast, go after the ball with every chance you get. I'll walk you through it a little bit. So, got to stop on defense, and they brought their punt team out, and just like Coach Maxwell told me all week, go after the ball. Seen a wide open lane, took it, blocked it, took it back to the house.
when you said y'all talked about it in a week, y'all had seen on film that there was a gap maybe there that you could get through, and so you utilized that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you make the block. Are you immediately looking for the ball, or does it just all of a sudden appear and you're like, "Oh, it's magic"? How did you get the ball?
Absolutely, I was looking for the ball. You could, if you watch it, you can tell that I kind of lost it for a second. But once I found it, it was just end zone from there.
And you were excited when you got there.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
We were too.
Yeah.
Everybody was excited to see you take that in there. What a great play that was. I also, that was a special team. And, Coach, as far as special teams, tell us a little bit about what he does on special teams.
He plays
so
on
special.
just about all of them. Do you
I know
play
it.
on all of them?
Yes,
Every
sir.
one of them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every one of them,
Yeah.
including the PAT and PAT block. He's on everything. And we've moved him around a little bit on the kickoff team, and like where he's at right now is one of our post players, but and then he plays a big role. And with our punt return, we kind of leave our defense out there depending on what we're getting that week. And I think we've come up with some good schemes. Coach Maxwell has come up with some good schemes as far as how to attack opposing punt teams, and certainly this was one of them. We knew that they had shown different formations depending on where they were on the field.
Okay.
And so we had 2 weeks to work on it, and backed up they were a certain formation. When you got out in open field, ball was in the middle of the field, they were a certain formation. Ball was on a hash, they were a certain formation. So we had basically checks or how we were going to attack each one of those. And our kids, we had opportunity for a couple of weeks to work on that. Kids went out and, again, did a great job executing the plan.
Absolutely. We've enjoyed watching you so much this year. And the other night, you had another heck of a game on defense as well. You had 12 tackles, 2 for a loss, and you were all over the place on defense. Between you and Brock, Dodge County was ready to go back to Eastman. Y'all were all over the place. Tell us, although it's special teams night for you, tell us a little bit about your defense, what you do on defense.
I'd say probably have one of the hardest jobs on the defense. Just having to read everything, watch the tight ends here, wing here, watch my guard. Just in case he pulls, block down, anything like that. Just making sure no trickery's going on, and just.
Who are you looking at? Right as the ball snapped, who are you looking at?
Watching either the guard or the tight end, just depending on what formation they're in and what kind of.
That's your key.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then depending on what they do will depend on what you do.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're either dropping back or what are you doing?
If they pass it, I'll get into my coverage, whatever type of play we run, I'll get in my coverage. If they pull, I just fit over the center, just get over him, making sure I don't get blocked. And then with the tight end, if he blocks out, I just got to be outside of him, keep my contain, and if he goes back, just same thing as with the pulling guard.
Wow. All right. Well, we've watched you make some big plays this year, and that Friday night was another great example of how you were all over the place on defense.
Sir.
Yeah, great job. We need it from you again.
Yeah, we'll definitely need it from you again. All right, your special teams player of the week, J.K. Fruster. Good job, man. How'd he do? He did all right over there? All right, good. All right, good deal. All right, Coach, so let's talk a little bit about this coming week. At the Frank again, Frank Snyder Memorial Stadium, 7:30 ball game. We've got, I'm not going to say it's going to be a unique night because the team coming in, Berrien, is in a Region 1 down there where 5 of their teams made the playoffs. It is deep. And the only win they had in the region was against the last place team. So they're a 3-7 team coming in, but obviously they handled the number 2 seed in the whole match, Lamar County.
I'll
So
be honest, Chris. I'm tired of hearing about 3-7.
Yep.
I really am.
Absolutely.
You turn the film on, and they don't look like a 3-7 team to me. They were good enough to beat the number 2 seed in this tournament, a team that was 10-0, and
shut them down.
They play in a tremendous region. You start looking at those 7 games, and you're talking about Worth, Thomasville, Fitzgerald, Clinch. You're talking about teams that are in the top 5 in their classifications that are all still playing. So they've played an unbelievable schedule. They've got a good football team. They're well coached. They play hard, and they've got some really good players. They've got a quarterback that scares the fire out of you. I mean, he can run around. He's not the biggest kid in the world, but he's quick and can beat you with his feet. And he can chunk it up, and when he does, they've got a guy that can go get it. And number 10, they're wide out, and he's a really good player on the perimeter for them. And I've got a couple of really good friends of mine that coach in that region that have had experience with them, and both of them have said that they feel like that Berrien's got the best back in the region. If it's not the guy at Berrien, that it's the guy at Worth, but which is a high comparison. And then the guy's a really good football player. He's good on the perimeter, but he's thick enough to stick the ball and get the dirty yards as well. And then on defense, they've got guys that run around, and while there's not the guy that kind of jumps off the film at you, they play good team defense, and their defensive coordinator does a tremendous job of getting their kids to play hard, and to execute a tremendous amount of stuff that you have to prepare for, get ready for, and have your kids prepared for on a Friday night. So very impressed with them, and we need to play our best game of football, best brand of football.
Okay, let's talk about that quarterback. Cash Perkins is the name. What a name, Cash Perkins. And he threw for just a little over 1,000 yards this year, and had 9 interceptions. But he's number 3 in their region in total yards because he ran for 440 yards. So he will tuck it and run if he needs to.
Their last game, he had showing 50 yards on 14 carries. So.
I mean, there's some. It's not all of him just scrambling around and creating plays. I mean, they design runs specifically for him.
Yeah. All right, that running back you talked about, Gene Watson, he's got 1,210 yards. That's number 6 in our division. Number 6 rushing total in our whole division. So between the two of them, they've rushed for 1,650 yards out of their 2,000. So they are the majority of that rushing attack that you talked about a minute ago. So, yeah, it makes me nervous
they should.
when I see those guys. Now, I know you've watched the film, and I don't know if you saw Georgia Sports highlight about their coach, Jackson Dean, what he said about the trick play.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right. Well,
maybe I need to.
Well, apparently, they scored on the first play of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so they asked him about it, and then he said, I'm going to quote him off the article here. We threw a trick play on the first play of the game, a double pass for a touchdown, and I basically looked at the defensive coordinator, Doug Kane, and said, we're done for the night. If you can just shut them down, we're good to go. So he did turn it over to the defense, which you said just a minute ago. None of those guys have highlight tackle performances, but they are solid. And they are obviously very solid if they held Lamar to nothing,
Lamar,
no points.
which is, Lamar is a good football team. Obviously, they were 10-0 going into the thing. They were number 2 seed in the tournament, and they completely shut them out. So,
What kind of defensive scheme do they run?
Well, they base out of a 3-4. but like everybody else, I mean, and they slant and move the front a good bit out of the 3-4 stuff, but everybody's kind of hybrid and gets into some 4-man front out of it. And, we're a little backwards from that. We start in a 4-man and get to a 3-man. They're starting a 3-man. It looks like to me they start in their 3-man stuff and get to the 4-man stuff. But you see a little bit of both in each and every game. You see some fire zone pressures. You see some hot pressures. You see a couple of man pressures, but you see a lot of movement with that front. And they've got a couple of guys up front that are quick and have the ability to move, obviously.
Absolutely. Well, they were, as I said, in that region they came out of, which is Region 1, which is, as you said, you had a lot of friends down there that coached. Then you know what kind of ball team they're bringing in here. They're not bringing in somebody that's just going to lay down, obviously.
No, we went to Blakely this summer, and I think that was one of the most important things that we did was to be able to go against some South Georgia football teams in the summer, at a paddock camp and compete against, those kids and that type of speed and get used to that. And I think it has paid tremendous dividends for us. And so we had an opportunity to actually go against Thomasville, at that camp. We saw Fitzgerald there. May have been one or two others that are still hanging around, but I know those two from that region were there. So we know the quality of football team that they've played against.
And that was 7-on-7.
No, it's not 7-on-7. It's a paddock camp.
Okay, that was a paddock camp. Okay,
yeah, it's team.
Okay,
good deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks, just looking at their stats, they're big on the rush, or running the ball.
Right.
They're showing for the year 414, carried the ball 414 times for that 2,154 yards, and then they passed for 87 tenths for 1,200 yards. So looks like,
Still
and of course,
pretty decent numbers
you're
passing.
right. Yeah,
they can beat you throwing the ball.
Well, their last game, their receivers averaged up here. Let's see, 3 receptions for 97 yards, so that's 32 yards a catch. And then their other one, he was 2 receptions for 43 yards, so that's 20 yards. So they can make the big play as well.
They can.
So, of course, I know Coach Stewart's coaching them up for that, defense, getting them ready again. And, again, we're just hoping for another big game like we had Friday.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, so this Friday night, 7:30. By the way, I wanted to recognize Mandy Cofield, who has been helping raise money to get a lot of our, where you at? There you are. All right. She's been raising some funds to get our students in. These prices aren't cheap anymore for playoffs, so 185.
Awesome.
All right.
We need a big
Thank
crowd
you.
this Friday.
That is fantastic.
That is fantastic. So we're expecting all of you who've got bigger
Chris,
wallets
maybe
to be
we
here.
should explain that, although we are hosting, it's not our game.
That's true.
We are just the venue. The state owns the game. So,
Yep.
as
That's
far
true.
as us being able to give student tickets for free or, being able to do those things, we can't. And the ticket price goes up as the playoffs go along. I think the ticket price now this week's $12,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so that's, you think for a family of 5, that gets pretty pricey.
Absolutely.
So we really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Have you got enough to handle everybody?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we don't have enough kids signed up to take off tickets yet, so
Okay.
put it out there. We're going to see what Mr. Stiller says tomorrow and push it and try to get as many kids there as we can.
All right. If you didn't hear that, she's got enough tickets for more people, more of our students.
5 tickets
Okay.
have to purchase.
All right. So, if you know a kid that's wanting to come to the game, may not can afford that ticket, we got them covered. And if we need more, we'll get more. So, we want to have a big crowd out there this week. We'd like to have that big student group. So, all you guys need to be grabbing your friends. Make sure they're there Friday night for the game. Coach, anything you want to add about Friday night?
No, we're we're very grateful for the atmosphere that's created. We feel like it's a huge advantage, and we need to continue that moving forward. And it plays a big part in how we approach and getting us ready for the game, and we appreciate the support and look forward to seeing a big crowd there on Friday night.
Okay, for all those who cannot make it, I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but Darren Giles has got it worked out to where we will be back broadcasting. Chad and Joey and myself will be back broadcasting. It will be on the NFHS network, so you will still have to have a subscription to NFHS, but at least we got it worked out where we'll be calling the game. It won't be like it was last Friday night with the silent count going. We'll be calling the game. So if you enjoy hearing the game, bring your ear pods and your phone. Otherwise, we expect to see all of y'all here that are here. We expect to see y'all packing the stands, and we look forward to a great night at the Frank.
Right, and just
Absolutely.
to let people know about that broadcast on NHFS, that's out of the school in Wildcat Live's hands. That's part of the GHSA and the NFHS deal. Once it gets to the playoffs, just like the coach was talking about, we just the venue for the game, and that also deals with the broadcasting rights as well. So everybody that gets mad, why is Rabun County School doing this? It has nothing to do with Rabun County School. It has nothing to do with Wildcat Live. That's just the rules of the game.
That's right. All right. Well, we'll see everybody Friday night, 7:30. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Thank you.
Skins.